This podcast was written and created by Avi Melamed, Middle East intelligence analyst and founder of the Inside the Middle East Institute.
Today, we're jumping straight into a huge challenge in modern conflicts: information overload.
And intentional distortion. Our mission today is to give you the tools to critically analyze the data claims you see everywhere, specifically about the Gaza death toll.
Right. We're looking at these sources that show wildly different numbers. On one hand, you have the figures being amplified by activists in the West.
And on the other, the numbers that are officially reported on the ground. This deep dive is really about the strategy behind those statistics, the political calculations that create this gap.
Okay, so let's start with the big one. There's this claim that's been floating around, pushed pretty hard by pro-Palestinian and anti-Israel groups.
The 650,000 number.
Exactly. That the death toll is over 650,000 people. And it's always wrapped in these vague phrases, like collected data, to make it sound credible.
Well, that's a fabrication. And we have to contrast it immediately with the official figures. The source material, drawing from the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza, puts the number at 71,386 as of early January 2026.
Wow. I mean, that is a shocking disparity. The difference between roughly 71,000 and 650,000 is, it's the population of a major city.
It is. And we should add the crucial caveat here. The Ministry of Health, as is their custom, doesn't distinguish between Hamas militants and civilians in that figure.
Okay.
But the sheer size of that gap, it points directly to deliberate disinformation.
And this is where that critical thinking toolkit comes in. Avi Melamed's analysis points out that the circulation of that 650,000 plus figure is it's propaganda 101. It's designed for mobilization in the West.
Exactly. And the moment you just pause and think critically, the whole thing just falls apart. Avi Melamed outlines three really fundamental questions that expose it.
What are they?
First, who exactly collected this data? Second, what methodology did they even use?
And third,
how was the data gathered? How was it verified?
And the power of those questions is that the people pushing the 650,000 number, they can't answer them.
They can't.
They just point to collective data. Because the real methodology is, well, it's either non-existent or purely political. If you can't verify the who and the how, you know it's about an agenda.
Right. It's a deflection. And that brings us to the core paradox here, which makes this whole situation so complex.
Which is?
A huge part of Hamas's strategy is mobilizing Western public opinion, to maximize sympathy while dodging responsibility for the destruction in Gaza.
So logic would suggest they should be artificially inflating the official numbers themselves.
They absolutely should be.
So why the restraint? If they control the Ministry of Health, why aren't they the ones claiming 200,000 or 300,000 deaths? That would create maximum outrage.
This is maybe the most crucial insight from Avi Melamed. While a huge number helps them with Western propaganda, they face a very real, very immediate political problem in the Arab world.
So what's the problem?
Hamas is facing intense criticism inside Palestinian society and across the whole region for its direct role in Gaza's catastrophic destruction.
Wait a second. So you're saying they're more concerned about their credibility on the Arab street than they are about maximizing sympathy in, say, Europe or the U.S.?
Precisely. If they were to artificially inflate their official casualty figures, that would just intensify the anger at home. It would backfire.
How so?
If the official number suddenly jumped to, say, 250,000, it would just confirm the absolute scale of the devastation. And that would turn up the heat on Hamas from its own community. Avi Melamed really stresses this point. Their need for regional political survival puts a cap on their official reporting.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? The key takeaway here is that understanding these casualty figures means looking so much deeper than just the number itself.
You have to analyze who is reporting, sure, but also who is being held accountable and by whom. Those official figures are actually being constrained by internal political realities.
Which leaves us with a pretty important question for you to think about.
Right. So given that the official death toll is limited by these internal pressures on Hamas, and so can't be wildly inflated by them, what new pressure points or narratives might actors in the West pivot to next to keep their own propaganda going? And how should you evaluate those future and likely more creative claims? Something to mull over.
This podcast is made possible by supporters like you. ITME is an independent, nonprofit institute committed to apolitical, intelligence-based Middle East education.
To learn more or to support our work, visit our website www.insidethemiddle-east.com.